This is Miss Anna, and today I want to tell you something that is going to be uncomfortable for a lot of women listening, and I am going to say it anyway because somebody needs to. Men do not get happier after walking away from a marriage because they found someone better, or because freedom is inherently superior to commitment, or because being single is some kind of upgrade. Most of them are not happier because of anything they walked toward. They are happier because of what they walked away from. And the specific thing they walked away from is something most women never see clearly enough to name because it does not look like a single event. It looks like 10 years of ordinary Tuesdays. Here's what nobody tells you about a man inside a marriage that is quietly failing him. He does not complain the way a woman complains. He does not build a case, document the grievances, rehearse the speech he plans to give. He absorbs. That is what he has been taught to do since he was a boy. Absorb it, handle it, do not make it worse by making it loud. So he absorbs the criticism that arrives disguised as feedback. He absorbs the correction that arrives disguised as help. He absorbs the distance that arrives disguised as being tired, being busy, not tonight. He absorbs it for so long that by the time he finally leaves, most of the people around him, including his own wife, are stunned. Because from the outside, it looked fine. It looked normal. Nobody could see what he had been carrying because he never once put it down where anyone could see the weight of it. And then he leaves, and something happens that confuses everyone watching, including him. He gets lighter. Not immediately, not in the first weeks, which are usually just grief and disorientation, and the strange quiet of an empty apartment he is not used to yet. But somewhere in the months that follow, something in him starts to unclench. He notices he is sleeping differently. He notices he has opinions again, actual preferences about actual things that he had quietly stopped voicing because voicing them cost more than it was worth. He notices that his shoulders are not up around his ears the way they used to be walking through his own front door. He is not happier because he escaped a woman. He is happier because he escaped a specific condition, the condition of being permanently evaluated by someone whose approval he could not reliably earn no matter what he did. That is the part that is brutal, and it is the part I need you to actually sit with instead of getting defensive about. Because getting defensive is exactly what will keep this pattern alive in your next relationship if you do not look at it honestly. Marriage, for a lot of men, quietly turns into a performance review that never ends. Not because their wives are cruel. Most of them are not. Most of them love their husbands and would be devastated to hear this described this way. But love and behavior are not always the same thing. And a woman can love her husband completely while still treating him, daily, like someone whose judgment requires her ongoing supervision. The way he loaded the dishwasher, the way he disciplined the kids, the way he spent a Saturday, spoke to her mother, handled a decision at work he mentioned over dinner. All of it, evaluated and evaluated, is generous. Because a lot of the time, it was simply corrected, redirected, improved upon, out loud, in the moment, regardless of whether he had asked for input. He said yes to it for years because the alternative, arguing about the dishwasher, felt smaller than the actual problem, which was never the dishwasher. It was the accumulated experience of being a grown man who could not complete a single domestic task without an audit. And here is what that does to a man over enough time. He does not get angry, not usually, not in any way you would notice. He gets quiet. He stops offering his way of doing things because offering it and having it corrected is more exhausting than simply doing it her way or not doing it at all. He stops bringing things up because bringing things up starts a review. He does not have the energy to sit through tonight. You experience that as him checking out. He experiences it as the only available way to make the reviewing stop. Then he leaves, and the reviewing stops on its own, and something in his nervous system, which had been quietly braced for years without him ever fully realizing it, finally exhales. He is not happier single because single is better. He is happier because for the first time in a long time, nobody is standing over the small decisions of his day, deciding whether he did them correctly. He loads the dishwasher whatever way he wants, and nothing happens. He handles a Saturday however he wants, and nothing happens. He makes a decision, and it simply exists, without commentary, without correction, without the quiet verdict he had learned to expect after everything he did. That absence of commentary is not nothing. For a man who has been living inside constant evaluation, it is everything. It is the first peace he has had in years, and peace, once a man finally tastes it again, is not something he is eager to trade back. I want to be clear about something, because this is not a video that lets men off the hook entirely. Plenty of marriages fail because men check out, stop trying, stop showing up emotionally, and no woman should hear this and conclude that every unhappy husband is a victim of nothing but her behavior. That is not what I am telling you. What I am telling you is this. If your marriage ended, or is ending, and he seems to be doing strangely well without you, faster than you expected, lighter than you expected, do not only ask what is wrong with him for moving on so easily. Ask what it was, specifically day to day, that he was walking away from. Because the answer is rarely a woman. It is usually a condition. And a man who leaves a condition that was slowly suffocating him is not going to grieve the condition. He is going to breathe. If you are in a marriage right now and you recognize any part of what I just described, the correcting, the reviewing, the small verdicts delivered daily about how he should have done something differently, I am not telling you that you are a monster. I am telling you that the same behavior producing his exhaustion right now will eventually produce his absence. And by the time you notice he has gone quiet, the leaving has usually already happened on the inside, long before it happens on paper. Give him room to do things his way without your commentary attached to it. Let his decisions exist without an audit. That single change, small as it sounds, is the difference between a man who stays fully present in his own marriage and a man who is quietly counting down the years until leaving feels less costly than staying. I want to hear from the men watching this. If you left, or if you are thinking about it, was it the big thing, or was it the 1,000 small corrections that finally added up to more than you could keep carrying? Tell me in the comments. And to the women watching, one honest question. If he left tomorrow, do you know specifically what he would name as the reason? Sit with that before you answer it. This is Miss Anna, and I will be back with more of what nobody else will say. Subscribe if you are ready to keep hearing it.